What's up, Thumpers? Welcome back to another trailer reaction from Hyper Rabbit Power Go. We are so excited to be here to do a trailer reaction for Avengers Endgame. I'm Adam Lavick, Hector Navarro, and Augustine Rios. Very, very excited. It has been another day of social media blackout for us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Completely avoiding it. We got tagged in one thing that we were like, son of a bitch.
Yep.
Why? Why do you do this to us?
But it's okay.
But it's okay.
Everybody's super cool. And thank you guys for not
spoiling
this trailer that we hadn't seen all day.
Yeah,
definitely.
So
love the enthusiasm.
First trailer didn't give a whole lot away.
Uh-huh.
Mostly just a few shots here and there. Didn't really set up too much other than that Tony's floating through space. Cap and Black Widow
shaved.
Yeah, they're sort of dealing with the aftermath of the decimation.
Time has passed.
Potentially, time has passed. We've got a little glimpse of Hawkeye. Super Bowl trailer really didn't reveal too much else either.
Dang.
Just a few shots here and there. What do you guys think this trailer is going to reveal?
Well,
if
I
anything?
can see the first shot. And it's from Iron Man 1.
It is, yeah.
So I'm betting
in
this
black
is
and
going
white.
to be
It looks
another
like
black and white montage of like for 10
legacy.
years. It's like, okay, great,
Yeah,
great. That's actually great. I'm not mad because it's like the joke. The joke has always been, like, hey, Marvel, don't put out a trailer for this. We'll just show up.
Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
We're going to be
I
there no
think
matter what.
Everybody understands that sentiment.
Yeah.
I think we also need to explain, Adam, you're holding onto a wire right now.
Yes, I am. So I can't move my right arm.
It's my lifeline. It's my lifeline.
Augustine's headset doesn't cut out or whatever. So, like, forgive his lack of enthusiasm.
Nothing weird is happening here.
He's practicing. He's practicing his robot.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I think I think they've been saying since the beginning they're not going to reveal a whole lot from the movie. They've teased sort of potentially like the first half hour of the movie only being in the trailers, if that. So I don't know. Yeah, I think they're going to focus on probably legacy, a little bit of shots here and there, and that's probably it.
So what I'm trying to do is think back on all the other trailers we've seen. Trailer 1 was usually very heroic kind of like introduction. Trailer 2 was usually this is trailer 2, right?
This is trailer 2, yeah.
Trailer 2 was usually villain-centric.
Yeah.
So that's when we would really get introduced to what that person is doing or thinking.
Maybe,
But I don't think they need to do that in this one.
I don't
because
think so either.
Thanos has already won.
They can literally do whatever they want.
They can literally do that. Yeah, you're right. They can do whatever they want. So this kind of breaks the mold. So I don't know what to expect. But if Hector's right.
It's just going to be 2.5 minutes of Paul Rudd just going...
like 2.5 minutes of recapping the Marvel universe.
It'll be like hilarious.
It's gonna be that movie that he brings to Conan whenever he does
Mac and
Me.
Mac
and Me. There you go.
Can you imagine how baller it would be if Disney and Marvel Studios was like for 10 years, and then it's and then it's a kid in a wheelchair
weird little
falling off
alien
of a cliff, and then the alien.
And then honestly, if the 2.5 minute trailer was just Luis recapping the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that would have been amazing. With one clip from the new movie.
I think they know that we want that.
This movie's too serious to do that kind of stuff.
It is.
God, that would have been so funny.
I know.
Whatever happens after this, I hope Luis recaps everything.
Yeah.
I hope he didn't get snapped.
And
I hope he can do that.
All right, let's find out.
Hit it, Zach.
For 10 years.
Seems like 1,000 years ago.
Close.
It was 10.
I fought my way out of that cave.
Oh, interesting.
There's a red too.
Became Iron Man. Realized I loved you.
That's great.
Okay.
Pepper, Iron Man 3.
Just the Reds.
I know I said no more surprises, but
Avengers 3.
I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
Okay.
Tony Stark. This is working for me, man.
Changed.
Peggy.
Yeah.
None of us can go back.
What?
Ooh.
Is that
What we
training?
can do is our best.
Kate Bishop?
Yep.
Yeah.
And sometimes the best that we can do is to start over.
Wait a minute. Start over. No. Oh, I never noticed it was red there on those flags. Cool. Dude, this is fantastic.
Whoa, okay.
Dang. Can we get the all red version?
These people die.
This is good.
I keep telling everybody they should move on. Some do, but not us.
But not us.
Her hair definitely
Her
changing.
hair was grown out.
Even if there's a small chance,
Not what Paul.
we owe this to everyone who's not in this room to try.
Oh, man. Clint and Natasha, man.
Oh, yes.
Whatever it takes.
It's pretty badass.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Damn!
Oh my
Whoa!
God!
What the hell?
Whatever it takes.
No shit.
Oh my
Oh!
Tony.
Yeah!
Tony was there with
back.
Nebula.
Oh my
They got
God.
back.
Oh shit, they
Dude.
made it.
I love the Avengers.
Oh my God.
It's so great. They're so great.
Oh no, what is he doing?
I like this one.
Dang.
Okay.
Thor
That was
busting
great.
those
He
moves.
just had to look at her.
That's right.
And say, hey, that's what
Jane
that's what I'm
Foster's not in the
doing.
picture anymore, so he's moved on.
Oh
Dang.
God.
That's a really good trailer.
It was
We got
gorgeous.
nothing. I mean, basically everything
You get a
we've
lot
had.
of hints. You get
Yeah,
a lot
you
of
get
hints.
a lot of hints, but
and
we
a
got
lot of
nothing
things that
definite.
you can like speculate about of like, cool, Tony and Nebula made it back to Earth.
Oh, we did
We
get that,
don't know
yeah.
how long it's been, how long
Yeah,
it took them to
yeah.
get back to Earth.
Yeah.
You see the progression of Black Widow having the blonde hair with the red roots,
With-
and then
yeah.
having longer blonde hair, and
So
then
are
having
they saying-
red hair too.
Are they saying the red hair is her natural hair color?
I think
They're
so,
saying
yeah.
that atomic red. Yeah, that's her natural
That's
hair
great.
color. Yeah.
So that's interesting because I think you can look at what she looks like throughout that trailer
Right.
Yeah.
and try to kind of piece together, okay, yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Like
That's
at
the
what
biggest
time does this
indicator,
take
yeah.
place? And the shot of Hawkeye potentially training his
Right,
daughter.
right.
You look at his hairstyle.
2 haircuts.
Very much
Yeah.
in line with what we saw in the other Avengers movies. And then he's got that mohawk. So there
That-
definitely is a passage
That
of time.
mohawk, I'd call it more of like a business in the front, party in the back mullet mohawk. That's more like a mullet mohawk.
It's gotta be
Did
a
you
new
have
style.
one though,
So-
kind of like that?
New style.
Yeah, actually,
that back.
I just posted a
You
picture of
did.
it.
That's
Yeah.
right today.
But no, I feel like maybe that goes back to the 80s. I don't know. That's a very 80s style
Mm-hmm.
haircut, but I'm not sure because I don't know if they're doing time
Are you
traveling.
saying he time travels to the 80s?
I'm saying
and
that
has
we
that
go back and
hairstyle?
see him, yes, in the 80s,
80s?
and he's got that hairstyle.
Him in the 80s would be like.
no,
Yeah, let's see
no,
that.
No.
He needs some
how-
like pink and blue highlights in there.
How old is Jeremy Renner? What is he in his 40s?
Oh, yeah, he-
40s,
he would
or
be-
early 50s.
so
no,
he would
he's
be
He
like,
would be a kid.
He would
Yeah.
be like a teenager or
Yeah,
The
yeah,
perfect
yeah.
time to have that haircut.
Also,
But
the shot of
okay.
the shot of Scott Lang is interesting. You see him walking around basically in like an empty neighborhood
Yeah.
with all
Right.
these missing
Right.
posters on
The leftovers.
on trees and all that sort of
Everything
stuff.
looks overgrown.
Yeah, and
Abandoned.
there's been a lot of discussion if when Scott gets out of the quantum realm, where does he end up? Does he end up in the modern time in
Right.
an alternate dimension?
when does he
And
end up?
when exactly? Because he shows up at the Avengers base in the first trailer. You know, Cap is like, "Is this an old recording?" So they're messing
don't-
with timelines in
dude,
this
I
like
don't
crazy.
wanna
I think.
I don't want to think about this too much.
I know
Right.
it's
I don't
so
either,
hard
Because if I do this deep dive of like quantum realm, time travel,
Yeah.
alternate universe, I'm gonna build up in my brain
what the movie
should is
be,
and what
or
I
what it
think,
is,
and
yeah.
especially going to
Right.
like comic book sources, like, well, in this comic book it's this.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that because I'm gonna walk in
Yeah.
and be like, well,
It's probably all
I was
wrong.
really hoping they would do time travel quantum realm. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't want to do that. I just want
Yeah,
it to
yeah,
be
yeah.
whatever it's
Yeah.
gonna be.
Yeah.
But I like the legacy element of it. I like having the narration at the
Yeah.
beginning with Tony and Cap.
Mm-hmm,
I think it's interesting to specifically include the quote from Peggy Carter talking
Yes,
about
starting
you know,
over.
starting
Yeah.
over and
Oh,
going
yeah.
back.
What a tease.
Remember,
What a tease.
Remember there in Avengers: Age of Ultron, the vision that all the Avengers have,
Yes.
and Cap's is that he actually ends up going to the dance with Peggy.
Right.
Yeah.
I know we've kind of spitballed it previously.
You think that's gonna
I
happen?
wouldn't be surprised if maybe it may not. It's probably not going to happen, but
How would that work?
potentially
How
that
would
he
it
may
work?
go back in time and end up with Peggy, and maybe he becomes a founder of
But
Shield.
then that would have to end up being a different universe.
totally
It would be a completely different.
like that
because-
would change the
yeah.
roster of the Avengers and everything.
This is X-Men Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Do you think
but
they
like,
would do that though?
I don't think so.
I honestly don't.
Yeah.
I don't
And
think
I'll-
so. We've been in the Ultimate
Now
Universe
we're
the entire
going
time.
into 616
Yeah.
with schlubby Peter Parker, not the 15-year-old kid,
Yeah.
but like a 38-year-old.
The defeated
I saw this
30-year-old.
on. I think I saw this on Twitter. It was kind of it was a very out there sort of theory, but I didn't hate it. It was Captain America going back in
Okay.
time, staying with Peggy Carter.
Yeah.
He ends up finding Bucky, and he starts Shield. He's able to eradicate all of Hydra out of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then Bucky becomes Captain America.
That all sounds like fan fiction.
Totally.
Not that fan fiction is bad, but it sounds like people that are huge fans of these movies.
But do you think something like that could be possible?
I want this happy ending. No, and I'll tell you why. I think when it comes down to is I don't think Marvel Studios, even though Chris Evans is walking away from the role, I don't think that they're going to put that character in a place where that character's off the table.
Yeah.
And if that means that they die, if that means that Steve Rogers goes back in time, alternate universe, whatever, I think that they want Chris Evans to be like around, so that later that's a possibility. And I think the same is going to happen with Tony and Thor. I know people are like, "This is it. The main characters are going to die."
Right.
Some will.
I don't think that's
not all.
because the difference between the MCU and comic books is that for the most part, the deaths in the MCU have stayed. Anytime they haven't, it's a fake out death that is like resolved in that same movie, or it's Coulson in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. In comic books, when Captain America died, everybody knows he's going to come back after a couple of years. Yeah. You can't do that to the movies for the most part. Again, the fakey would have been the fakey deaths. Loki. He's a trickster god, and at the end of that movie, we knew like it's not real. Coulson, but that went into the spin-off TV show, doesn't count. Fury in Winter Soldier, and that was a fakie that was revealed like within that film. There hasn't been anything where it's like, oh, you know who's going to show up? Ho Yinsen from the cave, from Iron Man. He was alive the whole time.
He's been pulling the strings.
They're not going to do that because it does undercut the... And they don't have to. With comic books, they do because those characters have to mostly stay the same.
It's a different
here,
business.
The MCU, talking about legacy, you got Hawkeye training his daughter, or is that Kate Bishop? Is that Kate? It's not Kate, but he's training a young woman. Maybe she'll be in the next Hawkeye, whatever. But like, they're in a position right now to let their actors age out. They should never recast Tony Stark. He's not James Bond. He's Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. They should never do that. Instead, what they're already doing, bringing in Spider-Man, bringing in T'Challa, Shuri. They all have this sort of backup character to even Hulk. If they wanted to, it would take one movie for them to be like, here's She-Hulk, here's Amadeus Cho, here's Rick Jones. We have more Hulks. Like.
That scene, that flashback scene with Hawkeye, what if that's the flashback to when we see his family become part of the destination?
Oh, interesting.
That might be brutal.
Is he wearing an ankle brace?
That's true, yeah.
So that would be after 2016.
And his hair is very normally cut.
Captain America
so
Civil War.
Could be.
We're going to see Linda Cardellini straight up turn to dust.
Oh, snap.
And then the next scene will be him with that mohawk in present
Yeah, exactly.
time.
He's like, I'm so angry, guys.
I know. Man.
I feel like, Hector, I like your theory, Adam, but I feel like
it's not my theory.
Well,
it's the internet's theory.
So that theory leads well to a comic book thinker's way of thinking because, you could go that way and then you could follow that timeline because it just takes a writer to pick that up and go and take it. They're not gonna splinter off like that in this.
I agree.
They have the possibility to splinter off like the 90s comics did and do a bunch of like other alternate dimension type stuff, but I don't think that's a smart move for this continuity because I feel like they've done such a good job of making these characters feel like they are going to be legacy.
Totally.
Like, we're never going to stop feeling the presence, no matter what happens, of Captain America and Iron Man and everybody.
And look, if there's an opportunity where they take advantage of that and Captain America somehow ends up being lost in time, and Bucky or Sam end up picking up the mantle,
exactly.
And then 5-10 years later, Captain America suddenly returns.
That's comic book.
He doesn't have
He
doesn't have to be Captain America. He can still end up becoming the new leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever.
Right.
And
it doesn't
Bucky
have
or
to come
Sam
back
can
as Cap.
continue on the mantle.
Semi-retire. I agree.
That could be nuts.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge change.
I got theories for all three of those characters, but it's not a theory that is like a death or I think Thor will become the next Odin, and I think that he will eventually resurrect Asgardians, so that they have the potential to be like, if we want to do Thor 4, if we want to do Warriors 3 movie, if we want to do for the Loki thing, whatever, like. I think Iron Man's going to semi-retire, raise a family, and then some people have been saying he's going to be the AI for Peter Parker. Maybe that is what Robert Downey Jr. will play while Tony Stark is still alive. All of those possibilities I think can happen without any of the characters having.
Do you think any character will die?
I don't know, man. Like maybe Thanos.
I think. Well, no.
I think
Black
some
Widow.
Avengers will die.
I think there are going to be some Avenger deaths, and I'm really hoping it's one of
Nebula. I want it to
you
be
really
Nebula.
don't want it to be Cap or Iron Man.
Because I think that there's a lot of story.
Yeah, Hawkeye or Ant-Man.
Oh,
well, I mean, I wouldn't miss Hawkeye.
Ant-Man needs a third movie though. He hasn't gotten that yet. But
he doesn't
for me,
need one.
I feel like Nebula's story could come to a very satisfying conclusion with Endgame because it's Thanos and like in the comics she grabs it, like you know what I mean.
I think
like,
Ant-Man. I think there's still a part of his story that's left, unless it's tied up in this movie. I don't know.
I think we are going to wrap up Nebula for sure, whether she dies or whether something happens.
A bunch of characters will be wrapped up.
We have not gotten paid off with her anger. She's so furious at her dad, and there's no payoff at this point. So she is going to get some kind of.
Who do you guys
revenge.
want to kill Thanos? Nebula, Drax, or somebody else? Drax hasn't been other than one line at the end of the first movie, which is really just a reference to the comic book Drax, where Drax was trying to kill
Drax's
Thanos.
mission is to kill Thanos, but they changed him.
Ronan.
He was trying to kill Ronan,
right? But then he just shifted. He's like, it's Thanos.
I think everyone will have their opportunity at some point to somehow
to beat the shit out of
Thanos to a point where like there will be one
magic with a kick.
Yeah, there will be one or some sort of combined power set that will kill Thanos.
Cool. It's one movie. Yeah.
Tony.
I think it's going to be Tony or Cap, like either one of them.
I think it needs to be. I think it needs to be paid off by the legacy characters.
Exactly.
I don't want a new character.
Like I don't. So everybody's screaming about Captain Marvel, like, "Oh, Thanos is fucked as soon as Captain Marvel comes in." I'm like, this is not going to be a slugfest. Like they're not going to come down to punches at the very end because Thanos is smarter than that. And as much as you think Captain Marvel is the most powerful, Thanos is still the most powerful entity in the universe.
Plus, I think it'd be a huge disservice to the original crew if you brought in new characters and they're the ones who defeat
gave it
Carol
to
Danvers should not deliver the finishing blow.
Yeah.
But Carol Danvers, I think she's going to throw some photon.
Of course she is.
And like mess him up.
She's going to help in the fight. But I don't think adding her to the team is the final nail in the coffin for Thanos at all.
It'll be cool though.
It's going to be all 40 characters.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Damn it, it's a good trailer. Super excited though. I mean, this movie comes out in 6 weeks. We're almost there. We're so close.
I'm halfway through my marathon.
It's almost been a year.
We need to buy our tickets
You're
as soon as they go on sale.
only halfway through your marathon.
You got 11 movies left?
Yeah.
That's
10
in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You can do
Dang.
it. You can do it.
I think.
You got this, son.
Which is like two
every Sunday, 2 a week.
Yeah.
You got this, baby.
I got this.
You got it. It's 5 weeks. It's perfect timing.
Good luck.
Guys, let us know in the comments what you thought about this maybe final trailer for Avengers Endgame. Who do you think is going to end up killing Thanos? The whole team? One singular character? Who's going to live or die? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe to HyperRPG, youtube.com/HyperRPG. And we'll catch you guys in the next reaction.